Hi, welcome
Hello.
back, Tom.
It's good to be back.
Wow, here we are again. Very, very short-handed today. We will pick up on that later. But welcome back, those regular listeners, followers, members of the group will know this is Tom, Quizmaster Tom from our Christmas special.
God.
He's kindly stepped in today to help us out because the other two couldn't be asked.
No, they couldn't.
So thank you, mate. Welcome back.
Anytime.
I think we need to bring in the sort of like, remember on Soccer AM, they used to give out a hat-trick ball when you've been on for 3 times.
Oh, yeah.
We need to do something for our guests that have been on.
This will be number 3.
This will be number 3. So you qualify. I just don't know what you're going to get. We'll have to work it out.
That's all right.
Yeah, welcome. How are you?
All right, I guess.
Good.
Yeah,
Sweet.
Just trying to muddle through and get work.
Yeah. Yeah, but that conversation we had outside, that sounds promising.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that it goes through.
Like I said, don't forget us when you get it.
Yeah. I can think of several people that would be, can you hook me up?
You're suddenly going to get a load of new best mates.
Uh,
Tom!
Only those that have been there for me.
Correct. Yeah, that's how it should work. Yeah. Right. I'm not going to bother trying to guess what episode. I think we're on episode 20, but that's a rough guesstimate. But yeah, we've given up counting now because, yeah, on past fingers and toes time. So
Yeah.
find out when it comes out. Read on the description, see what episode it is.
Yeah.
Slight change today. Liam and Will aren't here. They're off doing other things. In fact, I got a voice note from young Liam earlier today, trying to sound distressed and making out that he's having a rough time. But let's have a listen to what he says.
Hello lads, as I bet you can hear, I'm currently the largest soft player in the UK, and it's not going well. I've lost a child, I've lost a wife, I'm by myself on a table surrounded by other people's kids. That's a different podcast. Have a good one. Tom, make sure you look after that plum sack, because I know what he gets like, and it's good job you haven't left him by himself. The dad will be back later with a special mental mailbox. Again, if I never see you again, I've got stuck on a slide. See you later. Bye-bye.
See, now, again, I don't feel any pity for him because that's self-inflicted.
Yeah, that is self-inflicted, and he actually sounds like he's enjoying
He
himself.
loves it. He's probably the same height as most of the kids in the soft play
That's a
centre,
good
so he's
point,
all right.
yeah.
He's amongst his friends. So, yeah, enjoy that, mate.
You must be this tall to... Yeah, no, you must
yeah,
be this
you're
short.
fine, mate. You'll be fine. You'll get through. So, yeah, enjoy that. Maybe we'll see you at the weekend if you've made it back. Don't get stuck and don't get doing things you shouldn't be doing. I'm going to leave that there.
Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah.
Could make so many comments, but I'm not going to.
So, as he said, it's probably better that I'm not here on my own. I mean, the podcast, listening to me for 45 minutes would be boring and we would lose all our listeners. So, thank you for stepping in, mate. And we'll try and muddle through the best that we can.
Yeah.
So, when I found out that I was going to be single crewed and then rang you and spoke to you by message yesterday, I also asked the lads for suggestions on what we could talk about because that's all they do is come up with ideas. Why do I have to do all work all the time? So put it back to them. And Will came back to me with a suggestion for today's topic. And his idea was discussing immediate and long-term responses to trauma and how to identify if you need help early on. Which I thought, okay, yeah. And then the more I thought about it, I thought, oh, shit, that's going to be quite
Where do you start?
Yeah, unpick that one. Cheers, Will. So, yeah, I mean, we talk about trauma. I mean, you've discussed it yourselves with us in your story, Tom. They can be the immediate, so your initial, oh, shit, watch this happened.
Mm-hmm.
Or it can be more sort of a delayed onset where you end up thinking about it months, years down the line. And Will quite rightly pointed out that, you know, when do we act on it? How do we act on it? How soon should we act on it? And if the dangers of leaving it too long. So, yeah, that's where we are. I suppose we're talking, you get down the lines of PTSD. If you leave it too long.
Yeah. And, you know, worst case scenario, psychosis and things like that. So, I mean, everyone's different.
Yeah.
So, you know, initial trauma might be more devastating for some than the long-term trauma.
Yep.
And vice versa. You know, everyone's different. I can only go off personal experience. So for me, when that first initial trauma happened,
Yeah.
it terrified me. And, you know, speaking to people who knew me then and, you know me now, I didn't find this out until just before I was coming on to record my story.
Good timing.
But yeah, they noticed an immediate change.
Yeah.
In me. I won't go into the details, but yeah, it was an immediate change that was very noticeable. I didn't think so.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I'm looking through the bars of my cage. I'm not looking in.
Yeah, it's back to being in the goldfish bowl thing again, isn't it? You're looking out, everybody else is looking in. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, for me, I definitely should have sought help.
Mm.
But obviously being 11 years old, a boy,
Yeah.
who the fuck's going to listen to you?
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, for me, the initial trauma hurt.
Yeah.
But the long term is what has driven me to substances, contemplating suicide.
Yeah.
Well, more than contemplating, actually planning it out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really until about a year before I got married that I actually sought help.
Mm.
And that was at the urging of people that love me. And I mean, I'm glad I did. But,
Yeah.
you know, it took a good 15 years for me to actually seek that help.
Yeah.
So, I mean, knowing when to seek help,
Yes.
that is the real difficulty.
Yeah.
Because, again, going back to the goldfish bowl, you can't see the negative effect of any trauma until the effects are worse or it's much further down the line.
Yeah.
And having spoken with people who have been through it and actually attempted suicide, they didn't see it until that last second.
Yeah.
When just before someone walked in or what have you, you know, they were literally at the door.
Yeah.
And they didn't see how negative of an impact it had until that point.
Yeah.
So from that, I can only guess that those who succeed in taking their own lives are the same.
Yeah.
Because the number of people, the probability is in favour of, yeah, they saw right at the last second.
Yeah.
So I guess in terms of trying to find that point, for guys, it's extremely difficult because, you know, we've been brought up with this whole man up sort of thing.
Mama's favourite saying.
Yeah. So, you know, we don't interact with people in a way that would cause those people to say, we've noticed this.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a lot harder for guys to say, yes, I need help.
Yeah. I think, do you think it's, we've become very good at masking things. But then at the same time, I think there's an element sometimes where those close to us are afraid to say something they notice it, and they, like you say, they can see a change in your character straight away, and they pick up on things. And then is it maybe that they're afraid to push the button, poke the bear, just in case it gets an adverse reaction?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I know for myself, certainly, if someone pushes me and I'm in the wrong place, I'll snap.
Yeah.
And, I won't physically lash out. I'll verbally lash out and then remove myself from the situation, because that's just how I am.
Yeah.
Any form of confrontation is like, nope, I'm out of here.
Yeah, exit stage left.
Yep. And they're also, I think most people are afraid to do that, to give the poke, because it might push them over the edge in the wrong direction. Be it, a physical reaction, or be it tips the scales ever so slightly and they spiral downwards.
Yeah. So,
I mean, people are afraid. And, it's not just the guys that need to man up and admit that they're feeling this. I hate using that phrase, but it applies there, because, you're a guy, you have feelings, you need to express them.
Yeah.
So, man up and express them.
Yeah. Yeah, use it in a positive.
That's the only time that phrase will apply.
Yeah.
Is when it's positive like that. But it's everyone around them needs to pull their fingers out their arse.
Yeah.
And say it.
Yeah.
Because if you don't say it to someone, then they could very easily just spiral on their own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which none of us want.
No. And we've discussed it on previous episodes, the more blunt and more direct you are, the better it can be. Because if somebody's already thinking that way, if somebody's already thinking about ending their life or causing harm to themselves, you're not going to make them do that. That's already in their head. That's what they're already thinking.
That's already there.
But the fact that you've broached it in a conversation, Tom, I think, are you okay? Do you need to talk to somebody? Are you thinking about doing anything to yourself? You then suddenly you've brought the elephant out of the corner, and you've opened it up.
You've made it obvious to everyone.
The other person will think, right, shit, okay, they've now taken that pressure off me to talk about it. They've broached it. I can now feel I can open up, and I can say, yeah,
and it won't
shit.
necessarily be a sudden breaking of the dam, outpouring of feelings, guilt, whatever, It could just be that little chink in the armour that lets...
Yeah. It lets them know that you're there to discuss it with them when you feel ready to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're spot on.
When people say, oh, you sure you're okay? And, the typical response, whether you are or not, is, yeah, I'm fine. Sometimes what you need is someone to just go, the fuck you are.
Correct. The ask twice thing again.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Are you okay? And that's, okay, you've realised I'm not doing so good.
Most guys will respond better to a second, are you sure?
Yep.
They'll respond better to a, the fuck you're okay.
Yep.
Tell me.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I would.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
And many of the other guys that I know, they're the same.
You just have to be, especially with us blokes, you just have to be as blunt as a breeze block.
Hell. Yeah.
And just lay it out on the table.
Yeah.
And
blunt
like
as a
you say,
sledgehammer.
you've already noticed that there's something up, or you've picked up on something that's happening, there's something different going on in their life. Bang, just lay it out. Tell them, I've seen this.
Because
you're
a
not
lot of the times,
you're not right.
A lot of the times, it needs a sledgehammer to make a crack.
Correct. Absolutely. And I mean, you spoke about we mask things and we do things, and as well as the sort of the suicide, the self-harm, then people start masking things. They self-medicate with alcohol, with drugs, and then that just leads down another spiral path that ultimately will end up in the same place if we don't do something about it.
It'll just be compounded because of the the mental health issues.
And then not only do you have to unpick the mental health side of it, you have to pick out the addiction side, because then all of a sudden you're on a different train ride, and this is a different
very
world.
different
And it's
train
like,
ride.
okay, there are things we need to put in place. So, right back at the beginning, you said it. It's identifying that point where you need to ask for that help.
And most of the time, you won't be able to self-identify.
No.
You know, for me personally, it took multiple people.
Yeah.
For me to take a step back and go, oh shit.
Yeah.
You know, and as I spoke about in my story, you know, I was literally about to go and, you know, jump on the train tracks when a guy at work who I didn't particularly like or know very well, he just said, yeah, come around mine, have a cuppa.
Yeah.
And then I saw my future missus and
Yeah.
yeah.
It's weird how life works out sometimes, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And that's another thing, and that is true, is sometimes those that are on the outside that we're not particularly close to, especially not your sort of immediate family or friends, somebody else will pick up on something.
Mm.
And sometimes it's easier to talk to that person because you don't know them, because
you don't have that.
There's no prejudice. There's no sort of preformed conclusion and ideas about who you are.
There's no prefabricated idea of, you know, that's the Tom I know.
Yeah.
Not, oh, that's Tom.
Yeah.
That's just him. Yeah, I think it's the remove.
Yeah.
You know, it's that additional step away that even though they may not know you particularly well, they only know you in passing, they see a bigger picture.
Yeah.
And as much as I love having my close family, you know, tell me as it is, all that shit, sometimes they have a narrower view than you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like they're looking at the goldfish bowl through a magnifying glass.
Yeah. Sometimes they're too close.
Yeah.
They're too close to notice those tiny little differences. And like you say, somebody on the outside who's just observing in general will notice that more quickly. Yeah. And I think that's why we've said about it in previous episodes and we've spoken about it. I think that's why the chat group that we have works so well as well, because you're behind a screen. There's a bunch of blokes in that chat group that you might not.
Yeah, your name is there because, you know, it's linked to your WhatsApp. But at the same time, even though your name is there, it's anonymity because, you know, most of the guys in that chat, I've never seen face to face.
Yeah.
And probably never will.
Yeah.
But I know that I can vent in that group and not worry about repercussions.
Yeah. There's no judgment. There's no
so long as you're not being, you know, racist or sexist, ageist, any of that, any form of discrimination, you can vent.
Yeah.
And for me, a lot of my emotions manifest as rage, and being able to figuratively, verbally vent in, you know, that group chat or to some of my mates that are, you know, literally the other side of the world through Discord or what have you, helps to ease that.
Yeah.
And, you know, with everything now being online, it should be easier for us to do that.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, technology changes faster than people. So, you know, people's perception of venting hasn't evolved with the technology.
No. There's been a few messages in the group and you kind of like, oh, somebody's let rip, and you're kind of like, okay, that I can see where you're going with it, but some of that probably shouldn't have been put down. I need to pass
some of that out. Yeah.
Sometimes before you press that fire button, just have a quick reread back over it. But I like that. I like the fact that it's the safe space. You can literally keyboard warrior it, fire it in, and not worry about waiting to see, and not necessarily expect to reply back either. Or you can just fire it in there. Right, I've said my bit.
Yeah,
I've got it off my chest.
I never make a post like that with the expectation of a response. It's just, I need to get this off. And that's the easiest way for me to do it.
It's out there, it's gone, and I've said it.
I mean,
I've put it out there.
Going back to the whole, there's been a few messages where it's like, oh, hold on, I can see where this is going. Before you press that send button, just have a reread. What I tend to do, if I'm that worked up, I'll send it to myself first.
Yes.
Send it to myself first, read it, because you've got that initial vent out the way. So you've calmed down a little bit, just enough so that your mind's a little bit more rational.
Yeah.
I won't say completely because no one is. But it just gives you that little bit of a breather so you can read what you've written and then decide, actually, no, I'm not going to send that. Or I need to edit it because that might be a little bit inflammatory or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because like you said, as much as it's a safe space and as much as you want people to be able to sort of vent and say what they need to say, there needs to be,
there needs to be.
There are 90 odd people in that group now, and you can't just put anything because you don't know somebody else's circumstances, what they're going through, what they're feeling. There's going to be somebody that's probably going to get upset by that. And then rather than call a massive fallout later on, But then I suppose if you did that event to a circle of friends,
or if you are concerned that it may potentially be a trigger, put it in all caps. Potential trigger warning.
Spoiler alert. This is going to piss somebody off.
Because you can't, you can't vent and not piss someone off.
You're going to, and that's
you're going to piss at least one person off.
And you can't account for everybody's state of mind and circumstances.
No, you can't.
That's just not how the world works. And again, like you say, if you've got a group of friends who you know and you trust, then that's the place for that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You can just let rip and they're like, okay, Tom, all right, I get that. Knowing you, you're not
you,
meaning anything by that.
Yeah, I'm not being
just,
specifically offensive towards anyone or anything. That's just me venting initially. I'll calm down in a minute.
Yes. Yeah. And sometimes I've done it. I've put it in the group, and sometimes I feel like putting the end. I don't need a reply. Just sort of like I've said it. I'm not expecting
just
miracles.
Ignore me.
Just I fucking typed it. That's it. It's gone. But we see it all the time.
That's why I send it to myself first.
Yeah.
Because if I still feel that I need to share it, just so that other people can know that this is what I'm going through, then I can do that.
Yeah.
Whereas if it's okay, that's made me feel better.
Yeah.
I don't need to share it. Then I just delete it.
Yeah. Yeah, I should do that. I've done that at work a few times. Sent an email and then thought, that's not going to land very well.
Work emails. Yeah.
Now what I tend to do is get somebody else to read it first before I send it. Just make sure I'm not.
Type it out on your personal email address. Send it to yourself, and then decide.
I'm not going to do something silly off the back of this and upset somebody that I can't undo it.
I made the mistake of using. So in one of my previous jobs, me and this other lad were, pretty tight, and we had terms of endearment for each other.
Yeah.
From him, I was shit lips.
Yeah.
And from me, he was fuck nut.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake of starting an email with "Oi, fuck nut." Oh boy, was that awkward to
Flags
explain.
going off everywhere on somebody's IT system.
That's the thing. I was in the IT team.
I'll just check that myself. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So especially when it comes to work emails, you need to be extremely careful.
Yes.
But like I said, type it out on your personal email address first.
Yeah, that's a great shout, and something
send
I
it
should
to yourself
think
again
about doing. Yeah. Yeah.
And then read it. If you're still unsure, don't send it.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're still cringing at what you've put, it's probably not best for the general population to get all of.
Yeah. I mean, if I have to send a particularly ranty email, usually my wife's in the same room.
Yeah.
So I'll just be like, can you reword this so that it doesn't sound like I'm ripping them a new one?
Yeah.
Even though I am.
Yeah. And I think going back to what we started talking about, that can be the same for. That's probably a point of identifying when you probably need to look for that.
Mm.
If it's getting to that point where in your head you just want to shout, scream, and rant, that's probably the time.
Oh yeah,
Because
absolutely.
then, right, I can arrange to go and speak to somebody, or I can find somebody who's willing to sit and listen to me. Bosh, lay it all out whilst it's at boiling point in your head, and that's
Or just
probably
So
yeah. Before you've gone to that,
when you start to feel like, you know, you just want to go on a murderous rampage, you know,
falling down moment.
Then message your best mate and say, look, I need a chat.
Yeah,
You
get the
know,
kettle on.
Yeah,
coming
it can
round.
be, you know, have a cuppa. Could be go down the pub for a quiet pint. Don't go out clubbing, whatever you do. Cause
Go for a game of dart.
Yeah, go for a game of dart. I mean, you know, number of times I've messaged like my barber, for example, and just been like, I need a chat.
Yeah.
And yeah, just pop along, have a coffee, or
Yeah.
you know, one time it was, we'll go next door. We'll have a pint.
Yeah.
Yeah, middle of the day. Yeah, we'll go
Down
next door and
tools.
have a pint.
Go for a pint. Yeah, and and you know we've said about it. You need that support network, and
the problem is building that support network.
It's a trust thing, isn't it? And it's massive. It's the shit. Do I want to say that? This is me taking my face paint off.
Personally, I've been through a lot of trial and error with it.
Yeah,
and it takes a lot for me to actually no, I don't want to share this with you because you're just going to go and blab it to every Tom, Dick and Harry.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been very fortunate in the online communities that I've been part of. I've got at least one person from each of them who I can just vent to. Yeah. Yeah. Got a guy in New Zealand. He's just like, hit me up whenever.
Yeah.
And I regularly do. A guy in Australia, a guy in Honduras, 2 guys in Mexico, several people in the States and Canada. Yeah. Dotted all over Europe. Yeah. I've even got a couple of South Africans. And no, they're not family.
And it's surprising, but it's sometimes easier to form that trust again with a stranger or somebody that you've never sort of met in person, because again, there's no misconceptions.
I've only met
like
3 of them face to face.
Yeah, it's bizarre how.
And to be honest, I couldn't care less if I never see them. Yeah, you know, because at the end of the day, it's a mutual relationship. Yeah, you know, I'm there for them if they need it. Yeah, as well as them being there for me. Yeah. But yeah, building that support network is probably one of the hardest things you can do. Yeah. And what I will say is the WhatsApp group is a very good start. Yeah. It's a very good start.
Yeah. It introduces you to people that are going through or have been through similar situations, and there's always somebody in there that will say,
or have been through something that is completely different, but the trauma responses and you know ensuing complications align or like parallel to yours. So they're not necessarily going through exactly the same thing as you, but it's similar enough that they can empathize.
Yeah, they identify
without
with
being sympathetic.
Yes, and that's massive, isn't it?
Sympathy pisses me off. Empathy, on the other hand,
I'm not asking you to,
feel sorry for
bring me a box of tissues and say, look, I'm so sorry. I just want you to understand what I'm going through and why I'm going through it, and that's why I'm quite proud of that WhatsApp group, how it's sort of blossomed into what it is now, because people put stuff in there all the time. I mean, it's constantly going off with somebody's experiencing this or somebody, or even an event. Fuck me, I've had a really shit day today. This one thing has just pissed me off.
Yeah, you've got to scroll several pages to get through, but at the end of it, it's just like, no, I'm glad you felt you could do
Yeah.
that, because that's obviously made you feel better,
Yes.
getting that out.
Yeah. And what's nice about it is when you go back through and you read the sort of beginning of what's happened all the way through to its conclusion, there's 99 times out of 100,
There's no judgment.
there's everybody's like has been supportive, they've jumped on board, they've chucked in their 2 pence worth. The initial poster has come out of it thinking, do you know what, you're right, thanks, I'm going to try that, and nobody leaves. It's
Yeah.
not got to a point where like, oh, you're not good to me, I'm fucking off, I'm going to go and find someone
No,
else.
so I think we've kicked maybe one person.
Yeah, and that was for spamming us with stocks and shares type
Yeah.
sign up to this nonsense, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
yeah,
But-
the group is performing and doing really well, and it's a credit to everybody in there. It's not, people say all the time, "Oh, this is a great thing that you're doing." It's like, yeah, but it's a team effort now, because
Yeah, it's not.
everybody that's involved with Back and Forth is having their part in building it and making it into what it becomes.
But that's the whole thing. Is it's not just one. I mean, obviously it starts just one person, but you get that snowball effect.
Yeah,
And whether that snowball continues to get bigger or if it stays roughly the same size, doesn't matter.
No.
So long as that is still got that momentum,
it's exactly that. It's
which the WhatsApp group definitely has.
oh god, yeah. I mean,
There's new
that's-
people joining all the time, and you could be a silent partner,
yeah,
as it were.
yeah,
To be honest, I don't post in there very often, but seeing other people's responses to other people's problems, and reading about other people's problems, it helps me.
Yeah.
To think it's there if I need it.
yes, yeah. And I think it's good because you can sit there, you can read it, and sometimes it might not have any bearing on what you're going through. It might not be something that you need at that time, but you can read something and think, "Not me, I'll try that."
Yeah.
If I find myself in this situation or I'm struggling,
Yeah, absolutely.
I can use that maybe and turn it around into what I need it to be.
It's like the old woosa.
Yeah.
Rub your
Yeah.
earlobe thing.
Yeah. It's just something else. Like we keep saying all the time, you've got to try everything that's out there. You have to try before you can say it's not going to work. If try it doesn't work, then that's fine. But don't discount it.
For me, going and seeing a psychiatrist, and so what's been bothering you this time?
I couldn't think of anything worse.
Fucking doesn't work.
It would
for
probably
me.
make me worse, I
Yeah,
think.
it does.
'Cause-
For me, it does. I come out of there feeling worse.
Yeah.
And when I came to share my story, I thought it would be the same.
Yeah.
And thankfully, it was actually miles better.
Yeah.
Yeah, initially I felt pretty shit, but that was because, even at a basic level, I was dredging up all of that shit. But the fact that, there's a camera here recording us, but it's faceless.
Yeah.
That's what helped
Yeah.
in that circumstance. Talking therapy isn't for everyone.
No, it's right.
It's certainly not for me.
No.
And it makes me want to strangle the psychiatrist.
Yeah, and it's like going back again. How long do you leave it, and how long can it affect you? I mean, it took me 18 months to do my piece on this podcast. And bear in mind that's 18 months of the group running, and then another 7 or 8 years before that of everything else going on. You need to talk about it, and like you say, everybody's different. At some point, you'll realise this is the time I need to speak about it. You can carry it, you can use it, and you can leave it festering in there. It's just important to not let it get the better of you. As soon as that happens, that's when you're in trouble. If you can manage it and keep a lid on it until...
Or if you can identify it before that point.
Yes, that's the key point. It's like, right, okay, this is fucking eating away at me now and I need to say something. That's when you speak out and that's when you look for it, rather than, I'll just leave it. Because that noise is going to get louder and louder in your head.
Yeah, that
And
way
it's just
it's going to get
drive
heavier,
you
the
to
infection's
distraction.
going to get worse.
Yeah.
Whatever
Yeah.
simile you can think of.
Yeah, it's just going to be
Yeah.
there like a bad smell that's getting worse and worse and worse. But yeah.
Much like my neighbours.
Allegedly. I'll just get that in there. Yeah, so you're right. It's good start, Will. Good question. Good topic. Yes, we're aware of the immediate impact, but then at the same time, that might come out 6 months, 12 years later. Who knows?
Yeah, you know,
But
like I
just-
said, I didn't really feel that initial impact until 3-4 years down the line.
Yeah.
You know, and what made me feel it was something completely unrelated.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It just
triggered it.
boom,
Yeah.
and then suddenly, I'm self-harming, I'm, doing all sorts of horrible shit.
Yeah.
That I wish I'd never done.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I did it. But yeah, sometimes that initial impact is initial.
Yeah.
Other times it's a slow burn.
Yeah. And I think it's important to remember as well that you'll get both. You could potentially have the
you could-
initial,
yeah, you could-
fuck me, and then that'll die away.
Yeah, it's never one or the other.
But then the beauty of PTSD is it's going to come back again,
Oh, yeah.
And like you say, it'll be out of nowhere, something completely unrelated
And
will
it'll hit you
trigger
like a
it for some
fucking
reason.
truck.
Yeah, and then you just feel like, oh, fuck me, I'm back here again.
Mm-hmm.
Which hopefully by that point,
I mean, the
things are in place that you can deal with
number
it.
of times, I've woken up screaming and absolutely panicked the shit out of my missus because suddenly I'm back there.
Yeah.
And there'll have been nothing obvious in the lead up to it to trigger it. It just boom.
Yeah.
It's almost like my brain's saying, you know what we've not done in a while?
Guess what we've not talked about in ages?
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. The whole embarrassing, you remember that time?
Yeah. This is one time at band camp? No.
Only this is
Yeah.
worse because, you're back there. You are literally reliving it. It's as if your mind has been transported back however far to that point, and everything you've learned since just goes out the window.
Yeah.
I mean, classic example is soldiers coming back from war zones.
Yeah.
And just the slightest sound or smell,
Yeah.
and they are back there.
Yeah.
And it's shown in films. They are hallucinating that
Yeah.
they're back there, but to them, they are there.
Yeah.
And it's PTSD is one of the it's one of the most
you know what,
insidious illnesses
That's
ever.
bizarre that you mentioned that because after we spoke about what we were going to talk about yesterday, also I was doing a bit of reading, so I didn't sound like a complete fuckwit on the radio, on the podcast. And I've
That's a bit
stumbled across a
difficult.
post on Band of Brothers.
Mm.
And one of the veterans that they played in the series was invited along to watch filming while they were doing Band of Brothers. He turned,
Similar thing happened with Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Actually, in the cinema.
Yeah.
Several World War II veterans had full-on PTSD
Yeah.
episodes.
well, this guy turned up on the day of filming. They were sat in the back of one of the personnel carriers with the rags down on the side, all in uniform, all ready to be dispatched. They rolled it up so they could meet him because they knew he would come in. Apparently, he turned white as a sheet, turned on his heels, fucked off, never came back.
From what I understand, certainly with Band of Brothers, the casting choice for a lot of those
That's what he said.
historical
Yeah.
figures,
That's exactly what he
it
said.
would
was
it
that-
would be like seeing all
Yeah.
your buddies.
Yeah, he said they were so true to life, and the people that he'd lost or gone to battle with, they sat there staring him in the face, and he couldn't deal with it. So, it's not a new thing. I mean,
Oh,
we're
no,
talking
no, no, no. I
World
mean-
War One, World War Two,
Well-
and before that.
Well before that, medieval knights. They were said to constantly wake up screaming and lash out at those
Yeah.
around them.
Yeah.
Because of all the shit that they'd
Yeah.
seen and done.
Yeah.
You know,
And for all the time it's been around, all the different names of it, it's still the same.
it's
You know,
still the
this,
same thing. It's just,
This is something that you need to address. You need to get it.
it's just
sorted.
really only in recent years,
Yeah.
that something is actually people are actually trying to do something about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I won't go into it, but mental health services, they pretty much never existed up until, what, 70s, 80s?
No.
And, you know, as needed as they are, you know, they're chronically underfunded and whatnot. But like I said, I won't go into that because that's just a whole other rant. But, you know, I mean, World War One, shell shock.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
You know...
I remember it being in school and watching, like, this documentary. I can't remember who it was that made it, but it was about World War One, and they were interviewing, you know, surviving. I mean, this was obviously made in like the 60s and 70s, so you know there were still a few kicking around.
Yeah,
not many, but still a few. And you know, they were talking about shell shock and seeing their friends go through it, and you know, they came out of the war without showing the effects of it.
Yeah.
Until much later.
Yeah.
And then they were stuck in a loony bin. And it's like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, even recently, like SS Rogue Heroes on BBC, Paddy, you know,
oh, God.
he's an absolute legend, but you just imagine what must have been going through his head, the stuff that they saw and
the
did.
late, great Sir Christopher Lee.
Yes. Yeah.
When filming for Lord of the Rings. And, yeah, okay, so they changed the way that Saruman dies. But when Grima, you know, stabs Saruman in the films, Peter Jackson said to Christopher Lee, you know, I want you to imagine what sounds a person would make when being stabbed. And Chris just goes, I don't need to imagine it.
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you mean? I know the sound they make.
Yeah.
And when you look into his backstory, like Sir Christopher Lee's story,
yeah,
you know, his cousin was Ian Fleming, you know, the author of James Bond, who coincidentally based parts of James Bond on Sir Christopher Lee.
Right, okay. Didn't know that, but that's cool.
Because he was...
That was his...
He was SAS. He worked for the OSS.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. So, you know, he obviously channeled that into creative works, you know, absolute legend of a metalhead.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you get the other end where it's they get thrown in a loony bin.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been able to channel it.
No, that's right. And then you run the risk of a simple comment like that. You just need to imagine the sound it would make. You don't know that switch has gone in somebody's head, and I mean, that's a different story.
Fortunately, that wasn't a switch for Sir Chris.
Yeah, because he has that artistic
he's got that
outlet
artistic outlet
to deal with it. Yeah.
So you know, I mean, king of horror.
Yeah. No, it's and like you say, it's just there's a multitude of ways that can and will come back and get you at some point.
Yeah, I mean, it could be something as simple as, you know, feeling the breeze.
Yeah.
It can be something so trivial.
Yeah.
So unconnected.
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah. So, you know, one of the problems with PTSD is hypervigilance.
Yes.
For me,
yeah,
that's hypervigilance towards things that could potentially trigger an episode.
Yeah.
So it's not like the hypervigilance comes in waves. It's just non-stop for me.
Constantly there. Just
so you know, people look at me like, "Oh, you okay? Did you get enough sleep?" So I never get enough sleep because I'm constantly fucking on edge.
Yeah. Yeah, it's horrendous. And, you know, like you say, thankfully, there are now things being done and it's being talked about.
It is more widely recognised, and, you know, more people can recognise the signs.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're different for everyone. But there are some that are the same regardless.
Yeah, across the board, yeah. And I think, going back to what you said right at the beginning, that's where your support network, your family and friends, that's where they need to say, for fuck's sake, you're not right. This is something else. We need to do something about it. And no matter how upsetting you think it is, how traumatic it is.
I don't want to use the term, but intervention.
Yes. Yeah. You have to just grab the bull by the horns, address it, and get it sorted.
Yep.
And
grab the bull by the horns, the dog by the bollocks.
Yeah. Everything by the nose, and just deal with it. And hopefully it becomes the resolution everybody needs, because otherwise it's a different conversation.
Yeah. I mean, I know for me personally, if someone comes up to me, and bluntly tells me that I'm not okay, that is more helpful.
Yeah.
Than someone
just skirting around it.
Are you sure you're okay?
Are you sure? Are you
sure?
sure?
Fuck off. If someone comes up to me and says, "You ain't fucking okay. Come on, let's go have a drink and talk about it."
Yeah.
Then I'm more likely to positively respond.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the same, mate.
I think
I'm too old to beat around the bush.
In general,
it's just give it to me straight.
Yeah, in general, guys who have been, strong for so long, that is likely to be the way they will begin to break down that barrier.
Yeah.
Is if someone is just blunt.
Yeah.
Like I said, it takes a sledgehammer to cause a crack.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Excellent. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah.
Right. So, mental mailbox today
Yes.
is a special one.
You mentioned, yeah.
This has been sent in by Liam's dad, the legend that is Carl Stein, who obviously has been on the show a few times himself. Carl's had this sent to him, and the person that sent it is happy for us to listen to it. So it's a little bit longer, but Pinny is back.
Hello everyone, from the mental mailbox this week, not so much a question, but more of a sense of a feeling that may help you if you're in a similar position. This is from T, and Tim writes, I was involved in a bad traffic accident, and after about 6 months of various hospital stays and treatment back home with my family now. 1 minute everything in life was normal, and within a split second everything changed. I don't like talking about the accident or the details of it. Maybe if I could and did, it would make things a little easier and make me feel better. Although my injuries have now been sorted thanks to some wonderful hospital care, mentally I still feel that I'm not dealing with things too well. The events seem to take over and play back over and over again on my mind, and then I start to question myself. What if I hadn't have made that journey? What if I'd been a few minutes earlier or a few minutes later? How much worse could it have been if I had my kids in the car with me? It's like I have no control over those feelings, over what I'm thinking. Maybe time will help, but at the moment it doesn't stop, these negative thoughts. And I never had those before the accident. In fact, I seem to be able to deal with everything, all sorts of life's problems, without even thinking hard. Maybe others have suffered trauma, maybe have the same feelings that I'm having. If so, maybe reassuring to know that you're not alone. Actually sending this message into you guys has given me some relief. Any advice for my next steps, gratefully received. By the way, keep up the great work.
That sounds like classic PTSD.
It's just what we've been talking about, isn't it?
That is classic PTSD. The what ifs, the would this, would that.
The second guessing that comes with it.
Oh, it's classic PTSD. And to reiterate Carl's point there, you are not alone.
No.
I mean, a number of years ago, in the online communities that I'm part of, a pretty popular video game streamer felt he was alone and tragically ended his own life. So a group of his closest friends started a movement on that particular streaming platform called #NotAlone.
Yeah.
And a number of us that were streaming at the time or still are have sections of our Discord servers and whatnot called Not Alone.
Yeah.
With the logo that they designed and everything. And, whilst I haven't been through a car accident like that, something that would require, so much hospital treatment, I can fully understand where he's coming from with the whole second guessing.
Yeah.
The what ifs. Would this have happened if this? Would this have not happened if that? All of that. I fully understand it. And yeah, he's definitely not alone.
Yeah.
The cause of the trauma is completely different.
But as we said earlier, you get to the same destination, don't you?
It parallels.
Yeah.
Physically, he's fine. Great. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's good to hear. Mentally, obviously he's not.
Yeah.
And, if he is part of the group, reach out. If not, join the group
and reach out. Yeah.
You are not alone.
Yeah.
No one is alone.
Yeah. And I think, like you say, no matter what the trauma, whatever the incident is, you can't second guess everybody else. You can't account for the external factors. How many times you walk down the street to the shop.
It is so hard to not do it.
Yeah.
It's it's easy for people to say, "Oh, just please try and stop second guessing." What you need to start second guessing is what would have happened to my family, to my friends, if the worst had happened.
Yeah.
Because then you can start looking at the positives. You're still here.
Yeah.
You're still here. Your friends, your family are still here. You're not thinking, would this have been worse if my kids had been in the car? You're thinking, I'm so glad my kids were not in the car.
Yeah.
It's easy for us to sit here and say things like this, but if you're not going to join the group, that's your choice. I'm not pressuring you to do it. But what I will pressure you to do is to try and look at the positives.
Yeah.
Just try.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you must look at the positives. Just try. It'll take some time.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's a long process.
Yeah.
I've had PTSD since I was 11, and I'm coming up 35 this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a long ass process. And as I said at the start, everyone's different. But if you can, please just try and think, I'm glad my kids weren't in the car.
Yeah. The what ifs could be a lot different.
They
what
could.
ifs, I didn't make it. The what ifs, the kids were in the car, they didn't make it. What if I've left them without dad in the picture?
Yeah, those sorts of questions will aid in a downward spiral. What you need to try and do is think, I'm so glad they weren't in the car.
Yeah.
I'm so glad there wasn't a pedestrian crossing the road at the same time. I'm so glad it is hard to do. It is basically retraining your brain.
Yeah.
But if you can do that, it takes time. But if you can do that, eventually the pressure in your mind will ease.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it will go away.
No, like you say, no matter what you do,
to be brutally honest, in my personal experience, it will never go away.
No, and it can't, because that's
but
an experience
what you need
you've
to
gone
do
through.
is make it part of you.
Yeah.
And use that to strengthen
Yes.
your sense of self.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was raped as a kid. It doesn't define who I am.
Yeah.
But it has helped make
Yes.
who I am.
Yeah. You own it. And
yeah,
turn it into
I was in a car crash. I had to have my body rebuilt, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that's not who I am.
Yeah.
That's helped to make me who I am.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So whilst you're not getting rid of it, you're turning it to your benefit.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. And by the sounds of it, he's got the family around him that is going to give him the support and is going to help him with that. And,
Absolutely.
he's spoken about it. He's approached Carl with it.
He's made that first step.
Yes. So you might be thinking, oh, this
Whilst
is the worst.
Whilst
but
a lot
you
of
have done
people
that
will say
first
that
step.
that first step is the hardest, it's not. The hardest step is always the next.
Yes. What do you do after you've taken
And the
that?
next.
Yeah.
And the next.
Yeah. I've done it now. Now I need to act on it. Now I need to build on it and I need to improve what I'm going through. Yeah. No, you're right.
The
100%.
greatest step a man can take is always the next step.
Absolutely. 100%. Right. Have we got a quick love spuds? Right. We're getting chucked out now.
Okay.
So just edit yourself out, you
Just
Nala.
edit yourself out.
Thanks, mate. Yes, we're wrapping up.
Yeah.
Yeah. No worries. Thank you. Cheers.
I'm gonna say love spuds. I don't really have one this week.
I don't actually. That's 2 weeks on the trot that I failed to come up with a love spuds. I don't know whether it's.
I've got things that I could complain
Yeah,
about.
but I can't talk about some of the things that I want to talk about. So
At the end of the day, they're not really gripes. They're just irritants.
yes, yeah, everyday pains in the arses that we have to. Yeah, I do have to give it a quick shout out. Walk this Saturday, War Memorial Park, Coventry, 10 o'clock start. And there were some challenges thrown around in the group today. I believe Jack and Kev are on the receiving end of the challenges this week. Quite simple. Just take some time out, boys. Chill out. And we need some photographic evidence of you doing just that. So whether you sit in a bath with the suds on, a little bit of romantic music, whatever gets you
no
going.
explicit evidence,
I
please.
don't need to see the full-on pictures, but just the general ambience. So yeah, if you can get those fired into the group, ready for next week, and we shall report back to everybody on the progress of the challenges. And on that note, Tom, as our guest, I'd like you to lead us out, please, if you wouldn't mind.
See you next Thursday.
Yes! Bye, everybody. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye. Sweet. Nice one, dude.